Let's look at an example on how we can make a upskilling of a workforce more effective. Let's look at an example of Matt. Matt is the L&D administrator within his organization, and he's responsible for identifying competency and knowledge gaps and addressing those gaps early. His biggest pain point is that oftentimes he gets hunted down by department heads, different employees with last-minute requests saying that we have this project and we need to have this particular person with this skills and this know-how. And oftentimes it's just too late to hire somebody externally or train somebody properly with accurate training material internally. And that causes a lot of problems and loss of revenue for the company. And this is some of the major issues and challenges that Matt is facing. So let's take a look at how the learning management system by AFPoint can address this issue using a competency gap analysis framework. So let's look at the AFPoint learning management system Curricula in more detail. And in here, Matt, being the L&D admin, can actually create an inventory of all the required competencies by the organization ahead of time. These could be digital skills in the sector of digital fluency. This could be leadership skills, soft skills. These could be hard skills. He can create this inventory based on templates that can directly be imported by frameworks such as SSG. He can also modify these competencies and add additional metadata to them. And for example, we have building inclusivity. This would be a leadership competency. He can specify exactly what are the different proficiency levels that are available for this competency and what would be required to attain those different proficiency levels. So in this case, we have basic, intermediate, and advanced. Once this competency bank has been filled out, Matt can then create job roles. So for Matt's organization, there is a pretty big audit department, and Matt can simply add in what are the different audit roles, such as audit associate, audit manager, audit director, and so on. He can add in for a particular job role, what is the critical work function of this role? What are the skills and competencies required by a persona in this role? And more importantly, and this is where it becomes personalized, what are the recommended courses directly available that we could promote to a person in this role to get them to the proficiency level that is required? And with this, now the learning management system by AFPoint will systematically bring the right knowledge to the right people at the right time. Not only that, Matt can also, if he wants to, create a competency plan. So for those very critical, highly important competencies and skills, he can specify what is the organizational goal. So for example, for building inclusivity, that is a very important competency and skill. We want to have at least 5 people that have advanced proficiency, 8 with intermediate and 2 with basic, for example. And with this goal, should there be any competency or knowledge gaps, these can be viewed by Matt in advance. So he can see in the competency gap analysis report that for these plans that were created, and again, this could be digital fluency skills, but in this case, it's building inclusivity. He can see that we have a target of having 10 people with the intermediate proficiency, but there's still a little bit more work to do. We only have 6 people. And so Matt can identify these gaps early on and promote the right courses and do the right change management that is required. And he can also see whether there is any missing courses. So for example, for competencies such as collaboration, communication, there's currently no courses available in the system for the users. And so Matt can either create a course from scratch, or he can integrate it with a third-party training provider, such as Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, or Combined Knowledge, to directly provide courses to users. And lastly, what Matt can do is he can delegate these reports directly to the department heads. so that the department heads have visibility of who of their team members are requiring more training and who are the team members that already competent in certain areas and can take on the very important projects. And by doing this, we can ensure that gaps are identified early and training is personalized.